responsible for the unnecessary loss of life, especially during those tragic final days.
Okay, joining us now to discuss, former Special Forces Green Beret who trained with the Israeli Defense Forces and Virginia candidate for Congress, Derrick Anderson, and here with us in studios, foreign policy expert Harley Littman. Gentlemen, good to see you both here on this Thursday afternoon. Derrick, I'm going to start with you as a veteran of Afghanistan. Just your initial thoughts on where we are today, remembering what happened 3 years ago, and then especially seeing them over there celebrating with a military parade at the Air Force Base with our own equipment.
Well, you're exactly right, Bob. I mean, look, I was a Green Beret. I served and led Green Berets overseas. In fact, I lost 5 of my guys in Afghanistan. So every year this happens, it's a mixed bag of emotions for me, my guys, for the family members. And especially, we see after 20 plus years of war, we see the 13 U.S. service members that were killed at Abbey Gate during that disastrous withdrawal. We see the $7 billion worth of equipment left behind. And as you're seeing on your screen right now, the Taliban is parading it around the streets of Afghanistan. It's truly a slap in the face to not only those service members that served and paid the ultimate sacrifice, but to their families and those Gold Star families. And to be quite frank, Bob, that's why I decided to run for Congress. That's what got me into this race, was seeing the lack of accountability by the Biden-Harris administration. It's time that these people, our family members, our Gold Star family members, get some answers and get some accountability. And to be quite frank, my opponent in this race is a rubber stamp for exactly those policies that led to those service members' death, and we just can't have that.
Yeah, it's just devastating. Harley, the Taliban military parade leadership was flanked by Iranian and Chinese dignitaries. Does this Iranian-Taliban alignment worry you? And how concerned should we be as China gains a potential foothold in the region, covering a lot of geography in one question there?
Yeah, it's very disturbing because they gained a greater foothold. Why? Because Biden just pulled out of Afghanistan. I don't know the need to do that. The Biden administration ended all combat of American soldiers in Afghanistan. So we weren't getting any casualties. We only had a few thousand soldiers there. Why to all of a sudden pick them up and pull them out in this panic is really beyond me. And it ended up being America's longest war and most expensive war. And then what are the consequences? Russia went into Ukraine. I mean, they're thinking if America runs out of Afghanistan without casualties and there's really no combat going on, this is a walkover. We could go into Ukraine easily, and they did.
Yeah, you've got that party between the Taliban, the Chinese, and Iran, and
right.
We're kind of imminently expecting a strike from Iran any minute now, really.
That's right. Iran is preparing with Hezbollah to strike Israel. And what's interesting about that is a lot of people thought that maybe Israel would do a preemptive strike. If you know your enemy's going to attack, hit them first. And they're debating that, but apparently there are 2 reasons why it's unlikely to happen. One is they feel the gains are not going to be significant to attack first because the enemy is prepared. And the second is they want the United States to be aligned with them. And the Biden administration has made it clear that if you go on the attack, we're not going to be with you. If you're attacked, we'll help you defend yourself.
Yeah, sort of foisting this ceasefire situation.
Yeah, Derrick, what are your thoughts on that? Harley saying, we'll just be on prevent. That doesn't seem to be working. It seems to keep escalating. I know a lot of times in a lot of things, prevent defense doesn't work. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Bob, one of the things that I take away from what's going on right now, you see Hamas going and publicly saying, hey, we're willing to come to the negotiation table regarding a ceasefire. All at the same time, now Iran is emboldening, saying, hey, we're going to attack Israel within the next 24 hours. Just last week, we saw Hezbollah in the north firing into the northern part of Israel and piercing the Iron Dome. How I see it is this is coordinated, right? Hamas tries to make as if they're trying to be the nice guy by coming to the negotiation table while their buddies are amping up effort. So I truly believe this is coordinated and it's all for show, and that there's likely not to be a ceasefire anytime in the near future.
Yeah, how do you broker a deal with an element like that? It's really almost impossible. Harley, former President Trump contacted Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, yesterday, encouraging him to make a deal. And at the same time, a U.S. envoy from the Biden-Harris administration met with Lebanese officials as part of an effort to de-escalate tensions in the Middle East.
Speaker Barry and I also talked about the framework agreement that's on the table for a Gaza ceasefire, and he and I agreed there is no more time to waste. and there's no more valid excuses from any party for any further delay. The deal would also help enable a diplomatic resolution here in Lebanon, and that would prevent an outbreak of a wider war.
As Israel-Hamas ceasefire talks continue in Doha, Qatar, do you think a ceasefire deal, Harley, can be reached, or can Iran be convinced to forego an attack on Israel? It just seems so unlikely that this is going to be the solution.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. And what I think is taking place, and a lot of people don't realize the basics. Think about this. Israel has no grievances with Iran. There's no border dispute. There's no dispute on energy. Here's this nation thousands of miles away that's determined to destroy the only Jewish nation in the world. It's pretty incredible when you think about it.
Because they're Jewish.
What?
Because they're Jewish.
Exactly.
That's the grievance.
Yeah, that's
which is
it.
insanity.
You got it. And
That's
this is
one
the
mission.
tragedy and the horror of what's going on over there.
Yeah. All right. Harley Lipman, thank you so much. Derrick Anderson, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, still ahead, the migrant crisis taking a toll on the economy, dismantling some of America's biggest